Truck Driver Sean YouTube channel. All right, to get this out of the way, because someone told me not everybody makes it to the end of videos. I try not to bother people, but hey, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Why? Because I do this as a hobby, and to work with companies, they kind of want to see that you have subscribers. They want to see that you have views. Other than that, I really don't care about how many views I get. I do this as kind of like I don't know, like a digital diary of my journey through gear. I'm 50. I'm not relevant, okay? I'm a fossil. But with that said, today I've been playing on this pedal for a couple days because I just get playing it and I don't hit the record button. So today I told myself, no playing, record. We have this, the 2716. All right, this is by Westminster Effects. This is the deluxe version. What you have on this side is the 2716. On this side, you have their overdrive, which is called the Physician, which we will have that on the channel soon. I actually, this one here was sent to me. I did not buy this with my own money. He sent it to me to try out, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So I kind of liked how the Physician worked with this. It's not like a hammering overdrive, but it's so good how it works. It's subtle, but yet very dynamic. That makes any kind of sense. We'll see anyway when we get playing around with this. So what you have with this, it's Seth Morrison of Skillet. If you don't know who Skillet is, go listen to him. And I don't want to hear this, I like the death metal, I like slam. Skillet writes bangers. They write really good songs. I've been a huge fan of those since I heard the song Comatose, like way back in the day, like 20 years ago. Shows you how old all of us are. They consistently write good music. And if you've never seen them live, that's not their loss. That's your loss. They are probably, out of all the bands I've seen, and I've seen a ton, they're in the top 10 performers I've ever seen in my life. That says something, because I've seen a lot of shows. And every time I see them, they're... I'm slowing down, so I'm waiting to see them slow down, but they're not. They go out there, they're very energetic, and they just, I don't know, it's a really good show. It's like even the vibe at the show is like so good that you leave there just jacked. Like you're so glad you were at that show. But anyway, we're getting away from the pedal. The pedal's what matters, and I got diarrhea of the mouth, and it's just going to keep going, right? So you have the 2716, which is Seth's signature pedal through Westminster. And on this side, you have the Physician. If you buy them separately, they're $170 a piece. So you're looking at $340. Get those together, and you still get all the bells and whistles you get from both of those, plus a couple little added extras. You have the XLR out, so you can go literally right to the front of house, or you can go right into your DAW. It's XLR. We all know what it does. It's handy. If you're the type that uses a MIDI setup, you have a MIDI, all right? You can use it in the effects loop or straight out. Today we're going to use it hooked up to my Redbeard Grendel. It's a 50-watt clean amp. It does nothing. It's literally for pedals. And it runs off EL34s. All right, so you got all that on and off, obviously. It's very high gain. It is voiced, I believe, voiced after Seth's Mesa Dual Rectifier Rev F, which, have you tried to find one of those things to go buy one? They're not exactly easy to stumble across. This does the thing. Nicely. Also mentioned, it has a cab sim built into it, so you don't have to worry about that. You just plug and go. And literally, I've already said this when I messaged my boy over at Westminster, which, by the way, he's the nicest guy on the planet. He always, at NAMM, I always get to see him. We talk back and forth. I follow him on all the socials and stuff. He's just a good guy. You know, and he's smart. He builds really good stuff. And when he does let you see him play guitar, he's very good at playing guitar. He hides away from doing that a lot. But in my opinion, he should do it more. Pro tip from your Uncle Sean. Play a little more guitar. You don't need idiots like me doing things for your pedal. Do it yourself, man. You can help play me without even trying. All right. So like I said, you got the effects loop, you got MIDI, pretty much any way you want to use this, other than I don't know how it would work in space. And I don't meet the physical requirements to go there. Even if I was friends with Elon, I don't think I could get up there. So, you know, even he would look at me and go, hey, dude, hey, you belong at Dunkin' Donuts, not in the atmosphere, because if you fall, you're probably going to do more damage than the spaceship. But yeah, we've talked enough, right? So Seth, he's a PRS guy. I love PRS. I have no bones about it. I am endorsed by a company called Heathen. For this video, I'm going to use a PRS. Why? I want to play that PRS. That's why. And Royce over at Heathen is super awesome and very supportive. And he doesn't care if I play something else. Why? He knows his guitars are good. I swear by his guitars and I use them. I did rip out the signature set for Holcomb and I put in the het set, the EMG, because I'm kind of on an EMG kick right now. So yeah, that's it. Oh, my Arachnid cab. Can't forget them. They're like the best cabs on the planet. Unless you get blood splatter on one at damn. Then you get to see a crazy Canadian covered in red paint. It's kind of worth it, actually, because it was funny. All right, let's plug this in and, well, show you how bad I can play guitar. To the Batman! All right, we are back. So, everything's at noontime. Gonna let you hear what it sounds like with just the Redbeard Grendel. And then we'll turn on the 2716, and then we'll turn on the position, leaving everything at noon. By the way, this thing has a redonkulous amount of gain. There's no need for it to have that much gain on it. In my opinion, anything over about 1 o'clock is unusable. It's way too much. But for those of you who need a lot of gain, oh, this got it. All right, here we go. All right, so as you can tell, the pedal's pretty quiet when the level is on half. So make sure I remember exactly where it is. There we go. Let's get the volume of the pedal matching the volume of the clean signal. All right, so match to match, we're at about 68, 70% on the level, puts it right at the same level as the clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to forget that there's a position on it, okay? We're going to just play around with the 27/16 half. So here we go. That, my friends, is a bucket load of gain. Oh, it turns up even higher. I didn't have it all the way up. All right, so let's yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it. It's there. We got to do it. My God, that is just so much gain. That's like taking a 55-gallon of gain, dumping it all over your rig, then going, you know what this needs? This needs high concentrate, 40-50 gain oil. It is so much gain. Ridiculous. All right, so we'll put that gain about 1 o'clock so I don't kill myself here. All right, we're going to play around with the presents now. My God. That's a lot of presence. All right, volume. We already established that. We got it so it's meeting with the cleans. Now, bass. It's a little too much bass. I don't know how it's coming across with it mic'd, but it's banging the crap out of this room. Let's turn that bass down a little bit. All right, let's play with the middles, the mids, the middle. All right, so we're gonna leave the mids at about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Let's play with the treble side of things. Let's get mucky and bright. Mucky and bright. All right, so right now I've been tuning things to where I would normally leave them. So this is where we're at on the 2716 side of things right now. Talking with my hands because apparently I woke up French this morning. All right, so gain is at about 1 o'clock, which is about all I want on it. It's buckets of gain. Presence, dead center. Volume is matched to the clean channel, which is taking us to about 2 o'clock. Bass, 1 o'clock. Mids, 2 o'clock. Treble, 2 o'clock. What we have is this right here. The sweet spot as far as I am concerned. All right, so that's my sweet spot. So what we're going to do now is we have some fun, because now we're going to attach the position to it. Position's simple. It's a simple overdrive. Volume, gain, tone. Right now, everything is at 50%. Let's see what she do. It might squeal a little bit, so I'm using no noise gate. It's the one thing I wish this pedal had, because it would have everything. Just missing the noise gate. All right, here we go. All right, so just to get it out of the way, we'll do the gain first, because no matter when I use an overdrive, I'm almost using hardly no gain. Because especially with the other side of this, it's already gained out, like, it's got enough gain. All right, so here we go. Let's play with the gain knob. Again, buckets of gain. We do not need that much gain. If you're a gainiac and you say, I don't have enough gain, you have problems that medical science can't fix. So I say, instead of rubbing Ajax on it, rub a little dirt, all right? Because you're that guy. All right, let's play with the volume. As you can tell, it gets super, super violent. So, I do like to have the volume on it cranked, gain dipped. It's an overdrive thing. But I would turn the gain down on this pedal, like a lot. So, if I would do it, let's just do it. We're going to take this and we're going to put it over on 11 o'clock. See what she do. Okay, so I lied. I got it right at noontime. Okay, so now we're going to play with the tone, which is the last thing we get to play with. Ah! All right, here we go. Yay! All right, so we got the tone about 75%. She's starting to get really bright. but she's also kind of bringing it in a little. So we're going to kick back the mids just a little bit and bump the bass just a little bit and see if we get a little something out of that. All right, here we go. All right, there you go. That is the 2716 Deluxe, the Seth Morrison from Skillet's signature pedal. As of right now, from what month we're in. I think we're in April. I'm gonna go with that. And if I'm wrong, so be it. I don't know what day it is. It's Tuesday. I do know what day it is. I just don't know the date. This is the best pedal I've monkeyed with so far this year. I really, really love this pedal. And I really love how the physician interacts with it enough that I literally ordered one already to get on the channel and see what she do. All right, very cool. Again, simple rig today. I have a PRS Mark Holcomb loaded with EMG headset. That is going into the 2716 Deluxe, which is going into my Redbeard Grendel 50 watt. It's just a clean power amp. That's all it is. That obviously is going over into my Arachnid custom 2x12 loaded with Electro Voice speakers, one Black Label and one Classic 12. And picking it up with an SM57. So yeah, very cool. Huge thanks to Westminster for sending this out. And I don't like to tell people to buy stuff because I think it's not our job as somebody who does this kind of content to tell you need to go buy this. But I'm telling you right now, that pedal will not upset you if you like gain, you like aggressive tones, and it even will do blues because you can take the gain and you can turn it down. And I'd tell you, it does doom and death because if you put that gain all the way up, it is just a wall of buckets and buckets of Jello gain, like pudding gain. It's a lot. All right, you can get this for about $300. Well worth it, because literally you can go play a gig with just that. I would get a noise gate though, if you listen. It's got some noise, but it's also again buckets of gain, buckets of gain. All right, very cool. Be good to one another. See you in the next video. Later.